Hey, what's up, guys? So, as you see, I lost yesterday, and right now I'm matched against Tater. And so I'm showing it to you this way because I was able to stream my attacks with Updog today. So, just want to give you guys a look at our stats, and then I'm going to go into the attacks from the replays. So Tater, and I think this is actually the third time we've battled. So he has won one, I won one. So I guess this in a sense would be the tiebreaker. And here are my stats. So I decided to take Deadpool up to 18. I got kind of pulled in by Mobile Gamer's clickbait. He was saying it was something about Deadpool being great. And then, of course, when he came up, Deadpool didn't do anything. I said, but you know what? I took him up. I said, you're going to have to go ahead and take a chance and try him. I'm in the war, and I had him at 90-16. So I took him on up to 118. And the reason I did is because I was like, well, you got your X23 built up, and you're not doing anything with her. And the reason I did it is because I got some good pulls on Panda Pool. I know I pulled this 40, and I pulled this 12, and I can't remember for sure, but I think I pulled another 12, or at least I pulled a 10. So I spent like 6,200, 6,400 in cores, and it got me to the 102, so I was able to get Panda Pool. And so I took Panda Pool on up to 95-18, and I put him on war defense. And I know it's a little off the topic, but I'm in the war, so this is one of the reasons why I took him up. And just to give you guys a glimpse on what I'm doing with them on war, I'm going to try them out on war defense. So X23, Deadpool, Panda Pool, with Gwen Pool and Death Pool. And so we'll see how they do. Just kind of for fun, just put them in there. Want to see what they could be capable of. If I'm able to get the mats in, I'll take them up to 100. I'm a little bit short, so I think I get them to 97, maybe 98. So I figure I just keep him at 95. If they come in time, then he'll go to 100. Then that'll really give us a chance to see how this team can do in this room. So that's the idea, just to mix it up. See what Deadpool is capable of, because maybe they'll give us a diamond on them, and then maybe I need to be looking to buy a diamond on them. And so that's kind of what I was thinking about too. Like, well, you want to get a feel for them and just not go off speculation, because everybody's saying, oh, he's going to not be great, he's going to be terrible. And it's like, well, what if he's not? And so Pegasus and 2, I'm going to try out the defense that my opponent had yesterday, which seems to be the defense that Desir is running. So we're going to try the extreme with Phoenix in here. And then we're going to go with the out of time with Dorm. And so once again, I'm going to try to finish out the week with Spider Society in 5. Now that kind of bit me last week. The thing is I lost last week's trial 3. This week I already lost trial 1, so hopefully I can still go 2-1. And it's like, well, you're in a different place, going for 2-1 this way. Well, I didn't go for 2-1 last week, but going for 2-1 this way. So let's just see how it goes. And I just think Infinity Watch is going to get similar results in any room, so I just threw them in 6. So with room 1, he has on defense, and I think he got this from when he battled me, because I had, in our second battle, I had this Infinity Watch, and he struggled with it. He had to double tap it. So he's been running, so I guess he's been running Infinity Watch in 1, which I do think they do really well in 1. I was surprised too. But overall, you guys have seen this battle a lot. You can get an idea by the score, so I'm not going to run it. It wasn't as clean. I'll just give a quick snapshot. I had a chance near the end where it was just Moondragon, Adam, and Phyla, and I had the ability block still from 2099, and I ability blocked Phyla, and then Moondragon healed him up. So I just misplayed it, so I probably could have had a couple more points right here had I not done that. But the team is really strong, so I think it's only a couple points I would have saved. And so here I went in with the Hive Mind APOC. Now, I think I did this the very first time because Juicy did this. And I think most guys are doing Hive Mind Scroll, and so I did that. And then the other day, no, just yesterday, I did Hive Mind Bifrost. And by far, Hive Mind Bifrost has just got to be your backup because it's just not nearly as efficient. So I'm just going to run this so you guys can see how this plays out, because now that our Hive Minds are stronger and you're looking at 600k punch down, you can see that this team with APOC or Scroll is just equally as efficient. So with this battle, I think earlier on guys were saying go for Penny and then go for Pav. But to me, the key is Peter because he heals so much. So I target Peter with Void Knight. And then when I get a chance to go to APOC, I go in for the Falcon Punch on Peter because it's like every player's turn, they're getting healed. And so you see there's no healing going on. And then my Red Goblin is a 6 red. And so he can come in and just knock them down like that. And so you'll see guys with 7 reds probably really do much more damage, but the 6 red, or I think even a 5 red, is going to be sufficient to get the same results. So here, he's got his full extreme. Well, he's got extreme with Black Knight. And before, when I battled him, I think both times before, he had Dorm in here. And that's what I was running just yesterday. And so I guess what's happening is guys are beating that. And as you can see by the score, it's not a huge difference running Black Knight, depending on what you're going with. And I went in with the same exact team, I think, each time. I went in with the Cabal, Titania, and Kang. So I'll run it so you guys can see it, though, because it is a little different because you have a Black Knight here. And so my initial thought, because the way the battle was going, I wanted to use the Kang's basic. But you can see Titania did so much damage, there was no point to do it. So I went in and just cleared them out with the special. And you can see significant damage was done to Nightcrawler because of the extra damage they get with Cabal. And even Iron Patriot really hits them pretty hard. And you can see all of the assists, and it's just taking them out one at a time. So it's really not a chance for this team to make it against a Cabal in this room. And so I guess in a sense, this room is just to pull a Cabal. And so when I got to this room, I was a little worried because he has Superior 6 in here with Dorm. So he moved his Dorm over here. And this definitely a tougher fight. Maybe just because I've never done it. And so I went in with my Scroll. And perhaps I should have used Lizard on this one instead of Vulture. I'm not sure. You can see the amount of damage I took and the health I have remaining. So it was a close battle to the end that I barely won because my team is starting to run out of steam just as his team is reviving. But it'll be good for you guys to see. I mean, at the end of the day, at 83.54, it was a one-shot. So at least I didn't have to go in and double tap. So Super Scroll just goes in with his ult. And I think I targeted Dorm because, like, after yesterday's, like, delete Dorm as soon as possible. But when his Green Goblin goes, it just causes a lot of damage to me. And so this is where the stage kind of gets set, where my guys can't really heal back from. And followed up with the Craven attack, then the ult from Doc Ock is just a serious onslaught of attacks. Now my Vulture was able to get that first revive going, so he knocked them all down, and now they're back. The thing is they're starting to die from the bleeds, so it doesn't take much hits. My Scroll is saving me because he's going in and he's finishing them off, and he's the one that still has the health because you can see where he's at. Even with the vulnerable one, he's full health, and so that's really my only chance because at this point, when my Green Goblin Classic dies, I thought that I was going to be done. And then you can see I got one more chance to get an ult from the Super Scroll. And so that shortened span for the ult I had forgotten about. So it came around just in time to get it cleared. And I guess that little smidgen of health where Green Goblin is alive, maybe that's something. But, I took a lot of damage health-wise on this team. So this room was a little different in that he's going with basically Horseman and Gambit and Quicksilver. And so I wasn't quite sure what to use, so I just took in my Secret Defenders team with Nova, and I think they did pretty well for the most part. It's just Hard Light took the damage, so that's why my health has dropped down. But for the turn bonus, I think it was pretty decent. So let's take a look. So I lead in on Red Hulk, and said you can see the vulnerable on him. Slow him down a little bit. Now he's stunned because of Black Cat. And perhaps as I was going through, I should have made my way over to stun Quicksilver. But yeah, I think after stunning Red Hulk, I think this is where Rogue taunts. So all I could do is go in on a taunt. At least Red Hulk is dead. And so this is where Quicksilver puts the damage in on my Hard Light. But aside from that, I think the match was pretty well played. I mean, it still comes out pretty good. The Secret Defenders is just basically overpowering this team at the end of the day because they're not really taking any damage. And then you can see by Nova being on the end, he's really not taking any damage. So Hard Light just takes the damage. She lives, and you just wrap this fight up. So Room 6, he's run this before, and he's the only guy I know doing this. And perhaps I'm not sure what guys are going in with. They're struggling here. I don't know that I used Lizard last time. Last time I think I used just full New Warriors. And at that time, my Cloak and Dagger were probably level 100, but G16. Now Cloak is 18. I was able to take an 18 a day, and I went in with Lizard. And so I do remember that I wasn't nearly as efficient as this, but it was still a pretty for sure win. So I'll show you guys the difference though this time around. So this fight is really fast, and I'm just going to let you guys see how it plays out rather than trying to keep up with the voiceover on it. So you guys can see the score, and clearly he dropped a room. But had he not, he would have won. As you can see that I struggled with his Superior 6 and Dorm in room 4. But let's just take a look to see what held him up on my defense. So in room 1, it appears that the Deadpool and X23 gave him problems. Now, granted, he has a pretty strong Cabal, and Emma was probably a decent choice. I'm not sure if he knew that he didn't really need to take in Big Time on this one, and that probably is could have been a problem for him. But let's just take a look. And so Big Time goes in, and he does strip my Black Knight. The thing is, Black Knight counters, and Big Time is already in trouble. Well, I guess it's starting off. It looks like he's in good shape, so let's see what happens here. Oh, Rogue hits and ability blocks Namor. That's a problem. And now Rogue is taunting, and Black Knight is countering. And Emma didn't clear everything off of Namor. Okay. And you can see the power of Deadpool. So he comes in, he does his job. He puts a lot of vulnerables out. Oh, this team is really, once it gets going, it gets going. My defense, that is. So between Deadpool and X23 going back to back, I guess that's kind of problematic. So room 2 is Bifrost into Pegasus, and I'm sure you guys have seen this plenty of times. I've had the same problem or similar problems using Bifrost with Loki being the smallest, and my Loki is like his, a G17, and then he's the one that gets targeted. So that's the only thing that probably brought down his efficiency, which is extremely high, is that he lost Loki. And so here, we'll play this because I was hoping that this room could do a little bit better with Phoenix in here. I'm going to go ahead and try Bishop in here instead. I think the pre-taunt, maybe that'll help a bit. We'll see. But at the end of the day, I'm definitely going to switch this team tomorrow because he came in with Masters of Evil, which is Masters of Evil's all G18. He's got 3 Diamond Kang. But this efficiency is just way too high, so it was not effective. But let's take a look. So yeah, he goes in on Forge and then Billy blocks him. And that's the problem. And he follows right up on Forge. He's just going to get Forge right out of there right away. And then he stuns Nightcrawler. So he has a system on how he goes about this, and it's, you can see here, it's pretty effective so far. My team hasn't even taken a turn, and Phoenix is useless. He hasn't even taunted. Yeah, so with Forge and Nightcrawler dead, it's just not much left to do here. Way too easy. The only thing that helped is get the health steal at the end, which is just not enough. So the out of time with Dorm wasn't terrible, but I was wondering if a Tangle Web could be a counter, and it is. So this is a unique looking team. I'm going to save it. I may not end up using Kestrel, which we're going to see if Kestrel was a key factor in this or not. But I'm pretty sure Vulture is the key to this run. So let's take a look and see. So yeah, Vulture goes. So now they're super slow, my defense that is. And he stuns the, well, I guess you can't stun him. But he just basically just killed Dorm that fast. Yeah, and definitely the Omega Red is a powerful tune in here. Ulting on the first turn. So this is a brilliant team. He was ready to counter it, no problem. But overall, it's not terrible efficiency. So 8360, I'm going to keep him in there because he's playing this to perfection. And for the ultimate part of the goal, I'm not using any of these guys really anywhere. So they'll be fine in here. And so here is pretty much the same counter. It's played the same way. This Hive Mind Scroll, as you will see in room 2. So I'm not going to run it. As you can see by the score, it's a similar score that you get in room 2. And so here's Infinity Watch, and he goes in with his Eternals and APOC. And I think you guys have seen that plenty of times too, so we're not going to run that one either. But at the end of the day, my opponent was really efficient. You know, with the 786, had he had 400 more points, it'd have been a 186. Just fortunately for me, I was able to show him something that he had not seen before in room 1, and he wasn't sure how to counter it. And that's the name of the game. If you don't know how to counter something, it can trip you up, and then you'll have to double tap. And that was how I was able to win. But that's it for this one, guys. Okay, guys, chat later.